Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Welcome to our live show, Tipsy Tuesday. Hi, everyone, and thank you for being with us on this wonderful Tuesday in December. Still my birthday month, so
still your birthday.
We're still celebrating. Say hi to Mr. HP, my honey producer.
It's my birthday. It's her birthday. It's her birthday.
Sure is. Thank you all for being here. If you're watching us on YouTube and haven't done so yet, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. And also, if you're on Facebook, you prefer watching there, you can like our page, sign up for notifications so you never miss a show. We have a packed show for you today. So make sure you stick around all the way to the end to be able to have an opportunity to win a $25 gift card just by answering our question.
Yeah.
And then, of course, interact, some thumbs up, hearts, give us all the love. And if you know somebody that would really enjoy our shows, talk about quilting and fabric and fun all day long, please make sure you share with your friends.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. So again, we have a jam-packed show for you today. Lots going on, of course, this time of year. Not only our third Advent project, so you will get a free tutorial and pattern here real soon, but also our 12th and final free Stripologized block of the month. Yes, number 12, our last one of the year. So very exciting. And so lots and lots of things to celebrate, including my birthday. Of course. So it's been a busy week, both at GE, and we'll share all about that, and also in our household. Big shout out to our Bobo. Johan actually had to have a little surgery yesterday. He did so amazing. He had to have tubes put in his ears, and he did so good. He was so brave, and we're so proud of him. So don't we have a photo? Yeah, he was all smiles right before. He was a little groggy afterwards, but it was so fast. It was only 9 minutes. I wish I had 9-minute surgeries. Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Me too.
But he did so good. Always a little nerve-wracking, but for those little guys. But hopefully no more ear infections. Yes, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So on our set today, we have behind me a little Christmas quilt. We have the Svana quilt made up in Christmas fabrics, Cozy Wonderland. Love this version. And then behind you, Mr. HP, you're a little funky today. Yes. Supersized Amelie out of the Root collection by BOM. Root.
Root or the root? Root.
It's not rut.
Not a rut. No.
Yeah. We'll try and pronounce it Root by BOM for Free Spirit. We love it. We are counting down for BOM's collection. It was supposed to be shipping in 2024, but there are fabric delays again. There have been some strikes in ports across, well, some in the US, but also in Canada and other places. So things are being delayed again, but hoping that Lineage, which is coming, will be here in early January. I'm so looking forward to that one. Anyways, let's kick it off with our giveaway from last week. I asked you a giveaway question, what is your favorite homemade gift that you've received? And I told you not to count all those ceramic projects and art projects that your kids gave you every year, because we all love those. Those are, of course, our favorites. But
why you say it like that?
But our winner from last week is...
Drum roll, please.
Kirsten Nacken. Congratulations, Kirsten. Her answer was my Afghan blankets crocheted by my beloved mother-in-law, who my kids affectionately called their Amma. These Afghans are like warm hugs from a very special lady. I couldn't agree more. That's phenomenal. And I'm really glad that you have something like that to pass on to the kids. So that's beautiful. So Kristen, just send us an email to help@GEQuiltDesign to claim your gift card. We'll send you that $25 gift card right away so you can go shopping. You can go shopping.
Shopping all
Yes. So again, it's a packed show. We've got 2 tip of the days because we got to do our Stripologized block of the month, which has always been the second Tipsy Tuesday of the month all throughout the year. So we've been doing 12 blocks. This is block number 12. 11 blocks. These are free, found on our website. So the Stripologized instructions, or how you can take those traditional blocks, Stripologize them to make them easier and more approachable to make. So check out block number 12. Welcome to the Stripologized block of the month, where we take a traditionally pieced quilt block, Stripologize it using our Stripology rulers and the Master Your Stripology Rulers book. This is block number 12. First off, make sure you go to our website and download the free instruction sheet. It includes a coloring, line drawing of the block, and then all of the units that the block breaks down into. It will have instructions on how many units of each and the finished sizes depending on the size of your block you're making, 12-inch, 9-inch, or 6-inch. So let's take a look at this block. Of course, our 12th and final block is going to be the most intricate, building our skills as we go. So first of all, this is a traditional 9-patch block, starting with just a square in the center. But then we have flying geese here. We have a flying geese that has fabric A as the background with fabric B as this dark. And then it's fabric A as the same as was fabric A for this set of geese. So we have 4 of each. So the coloring would have to be different for both of these. We have half square triangles here in the corners, a total of 8 of them. And then we have the squares, the gold squares, and then a background square in the corner. So composition of these corner units would be 2 squares and 2 half square triangles. So let's take a look at how we would build this, starting with our flying geese units. Like I said, you have fabric A here as one color, and then fabric B is a second color that becomes also fabric A in the other set of flying geese. So for mine, I wanted to start with the inner one, the green here being my dark teal, and then my outer 2 will be this turquoise. So I am making the 12-inch block, so we flip to page number 20 or 19 for the smaller geese. I like to use my mini ruler for these. 2 by 4-inch finished, which means I need to cut my fabric A square at 7 inches and fabric B square at 5.5 inches, making my flying geese, making 4 at a time. And then for the other version, I'm using fabric B would be the background, the 5.5 inch, and then the same fabric I used for fabric B in the previous one will be fabric A, cut at 7 inches. So these will be my flying geese. For the next one would be my half square triangles. So these will finish at 2 inches as indicated here in the pattern for the 12-inch block, and you need 8 of them. So for making these, I recommend using our quick method of making 8 at a time. You can make 2 at a time using the method on page 9, but I would prefer and recommend the 8 at a time since you're making 8, which means instead of cutting 8 little squares, we only need to cut 2 large squares. So you cut 1 from your background and 1 from your color. Find the finished size of your half square triangle, which is 2 inches, which means I cut my squares at 6 inches. So here are my 2 fabrics cut at 6 inches to make my 8 half square triangles. How that works, from the 2 squares you actually make 2 quarter square triangles that then get trimmed and then cut apart into the half square triangle. So that's ready to go for me. I wanted to match my half square triangle fabric in the middle, so the center unit is cut at, it finishes at 4 inches, so cut at 4.5, have that 4.5 inch square. And then the last one is just our little squares for the corners, and then the gold in here, they are 2 inches finished, so we would cut them at 2.5, and we need 4 of each, so 4 background at 2.5, and then 4 instead of the gold, I'm gonna do these black ones at 2.5 inches. So as we put it together, like I explained in the beginning, I would start by sewing my flying geese together. I pressed towards the inside on both of that, on all of them. So that would be the first unit I would assemble. And then the second unit would be the corner ones, which means I would sew the half square triangle to the background square, and then the color square to the other half square triangle. Press them opposite, so I would press them towards the squares and then sew them together and nest them. And then of course the block is assembled. I would sew these units to the center, press inwards, and then repeat it on the outside. So these units to the outside, press outwards, and then join all of them. The pressing I would finish by pressing on the inside, or you can press those seams open as well, however you want to lay those seams the flattest. So this is our block number 12. So there's our block number 12. Of course, if you've been following these, we started off in January with a very, very simple block, worked our way through, as you can see, a lot more seams, a lot more little aspects to this block than our first block. But that's how any kind of a class should be built. We start easy and then we build our skills. So it's a great way to practice your piecing accuracy, practicing stripologizing as well. So I hope you enjoyed, those of you that followed along. Now the blocks, I was making 12-inch blocks, but the blocks are, the instructions are provided for different sizes down to a 6-inch. So check it out. It's all on our website under bonus charts and templates. You can just download the PDF right there. And of course, come back to the video if you need a little refresher on putting it together. So finishing these, you can of course do whatever you want. They're pretty standard sizes, so there are lots of setting opportunities for these blocks. I'm going to give you a couple of ideas as we get further into December. So think about coming back to watch us on a Tipsy Tuesday between Christmas and New Year's, and I'll give you some ideas for finishing those blocks. I've got 2 sets to finish myself. Yes, so I see lots of you have been really appreciative of these blocks and have been practicing and trying. Finally getting the hang of it. Yeah, everything takes practice. You know, repetition is what it's all about. And so this is why we should be sewing a lot, getting our repetitions in, so we get better and have more fun. And then, of course, at the same time, making more quilts. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Get to play longer in your sewing rooms.
Where do they find the other blocks?
The other blocks, they're all at the same spot. Go to our website. Under About and More, it's on the top menu. You'll find bonus charts and templates. It's right at the top, and it's got all 12 PDFs that you can download. It's just that worksheet, so you have a little coloring spot where you can color your block, and then how you break it down, stripologizing ways. Of course, it's not a full instruction, but these are pretty basic standard blocks. Great way to learn the methods. Good, good. Of course, very helpful to have the Master Your Stripology Rulers book, because all of the charts, all the instructions, and videos for each technique are going to be included in that. So, speaking of giving you more to do in your sewing room, it is Advent season, and it is time for our 3rd Advent project. So this is our free tutorial. There will be a free pattern, and of course you can access the free tutorial video after the show. So the pattern will be available after the show. Free pattern on our website. Those of you that purchase our Advent box will have the pattern and the video in your account after the show. So just sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and are you ready, Mr. HP?
Yeah, let's play that intro again.
Let's take a look at our Advent project number 3. It is time for our 3rd Advent project, so let's take a look in our box. If you had a box with us, what is in store? I'm grabbing number open on December 10th. Big package, so let's take a look. What's in store? Oh, we have some really beautiful fabric. We have some red. We have beautiful snow globe fabric. Fun, fun, fun. What is this? Some batting. Ooh, and some Insul-Bright insulating batting. And a fun gift. Now this is very cool. Something we always need in our sewing rooms. A little stand to hold our patterns or our books that we're working from. Love that. So let's figure out what we're going to make with these beautiful fabrics. Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this really simple double oven mitt, and it has no binding. Let's start by looking at our fabrics. You'll need 2 different fabrics, a half yard of each, and you want a little bit of contrast for fun. So I'm going to start by cutting our half yards. They're going to be cut the same as far as strips. So I have my main fabric here. This is what you want to be the main fabric, and then you have your accent and backing fabric. So I'm going to make sure that this is folded so that I have both of my folds parallel, and we want to cut 2 strips from each of the fabrics. And so I'm just lining up a line here on my ruler on the bottom, fold, and then checking to see if my top fold is parallel, and it is looking good. So I am going to cut 2 7.5-inch strips, and we're going to do the same from our second fabric. So we have our 2 strips, 7.5-inch. So I did already do that with my accent fabric. 2 of them I'm going to set aside, 1 of each, and we're going to subcut just 1 of them. So for our main fabric, we want to cut 2 rectangles that are 9 by 7.5 from this piece. And if you have something like this, and you want to kind of fuzzy cut it so that you want a certain image in there, you can. For example, I think this would be pretty to include both of these, or if you want to have a little bit of red, you can choose kind of how you do that. So I am happy with doing both of these. So I'm just going to fold this to here and cut 2 of my rectangles from this side. So you need, for the main fabric, that needs to be, it's already 7.5, and we need a 9-inch rectangle. So I'm gonna just cut here on the 0 and the 9. So there I have that. The rest is just left over. For the accent fabric, we need to cut a little bit larger. So we need 7.5 by 10. So I'm gonna align a line on the bottom of my strip here and just cut 10 inches, 2 rectangles, and we are good with the cutting. So except for our batting and our insole bright. So we have our batting, so you have, this is just a single polyester batting. It is fusible on one side. This is what was in our boxes, but any kind of batting will work. So we just need 2 rectangles that are cut at 7.5 by 9. And then for our insole bright, which is insulated batting, we want to cut 4 rectangles at 7.5 by 10. So those I have here. I have layered two layers of them, and if you have a 505 adhesive spray, this is basting spray. I use that just to kind of keep them together. It doesn't have to be basted together. It's just nice that they stick together. Just to spray a little bit to stick these 2 layers together. So we have 2 layers of the insulated batting, 2 rectangles at 7.5 by 10. So the beautiful thing about this double oven mitt is the fact that it is no binding. So we're going to start with our batting piece. And if you have fusible batting, I want to put my main fabric right here on top of the fusible batting. And if you want to fuse that, go ahead and do that. I can do that afterwards. So I'm just going to show you the next step. So now we're going to take the accent fabric that are, this piece is 1 inch longer. So what we want to do here is lay this on top and align these top raw edges. So let me see. Yep, this works for me. Like that. And up here. So I'm going to be sewing here across, but I want to sew a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So if you want to mark that, if you have a marking for a 1/2 inch seam allowance on your sewing machine, you can do that. Or I'm just going to use a marking pen, just a water erasable marking pen. Anything works really. And I have my ruler, my 1/2 inch line on my ruler, and I can just draw a line here that I can then follow with my needle as I sew this on each side here. So, which is nice. So I can wait to press this until afterwards. I'm going to just put a pin in each so I can keep it together. So my first step is just to go ahead and sew right across that seam, following that line with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Now I have put my walking foot on my machine. This is a digital dual feed foot. That's going to be really helpful as we're sewing through quite a few layers. You don't have to, but I have done that. I've also made sure to use thread in there that I have a dark gray, something that is going to kind of blend well with both colors. And so I have that both in my top and my bottom bobbin. So I am going to just sew here right on the lines that I drew. So here you see I have sewn across. What you want to do is just press this outwards, just like I have done here. And I went ahead and pressed this down as well. And then you want to just fold it to the back. So fold it over to the back. And so if your seam was the correct width, you're going to have this filled in all the way on the back. So what we want to do here, I like to do this whenever we're doing a project that you're sewing through a lot of layers. I am just going to go ahead and stitch on the inside around all of these open sides, the raw edge sides, with just about 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, just to keep these layers together. And then I'm also going to go and stitch right in the ditch here along this seam. So this creates just a little bit of looks like a bound edge. And then I'm going to stitch all the way around here to keep these pieces in place. If you want to, you can add a little bit more quilting on here. You can do an X here, or you can do lines, or you can just leave it like this. It really doesn't need any quilting, but if you want to enhance it a little bit, you can. So now we have both of these pieces basted. I didn't add any quilting to mine, but of course you can do that if you want. So now I'm going to move on to our other pieces. So our long pieces, we want to take this long strip that we have with the fabric. We just want to make sure they are the same length. So what I'm going to do is have my fold here on one side of both of them and just trim off the selvage ends, but just trim them so they will be perfectly even. So I'm just going to grab any ruler here, move my zero slit here as close to the selvage, and this is even. So now we have a perfectly clean edge and no selvages on either one. I like to keep that fold because this is also marking our center, so which is very nice. So now this is going to become your inside, your backing, and then this is going to be your inside piece that is like the main piece. So we are going to add our insulated batting to this part here. We're going to just lay that right here on the wrong side of the fabric on the edge. And so what you can do here is either just add a little spray with the adhesive here, just right on your fabric, and stick it to it, or you can just pin this in place. You want to do this on each end. So it doesn't have to be a lot, just to keep it in place while you stitch it down. So now I am going to go ahead and stitch around the whole edge, just like we did. Actually, I'm just going to do like a U, just around the outside. I'm going to leave the top open on both sides. And if you want to, you can also put a little bit of quilting in here just to help stabilize it, but it's not needed. As you can see, now I've stitched on the inside, so these are secure. And so now it is time to layer our oven mitt. We want to take the front piece. This will be where we stick our hand in. So this one doesn't have to be thick. This is what's going to insulate us from that heat. So we want to layer this right on top here and on the other side. So we're talking right side up. This is the inside of the pocket, and this is right side up or inside of the mitt. And now we're going to take our other fabric, and so I'm going to push this out. We're going to lay that right sides together. So we're going to just sew this right sides together all the way around, leaving an opening and then turning our whole thing. Before we attach this, because we're going to do a little bit of a blunt corners on this, makes it a lot easier. I like to take my backing piece before I do that and mark that up. So if you have a And you can vary this angle, but if you have a point trimmers, I'm using our 90-degree point trimmer here, so if you can see it, and you can see the dotted lines. I'm going to line the corners of the fabric with the dotted lines. So as you can see, and this is going to be the back side of your fabric, so you don't have to worry about using a water erasable pen, but I'm just going to mark the corners like this. So it can be any angle. If you don't have the trimmers, you can just use a regular ruler and mark. It's about 2.5 inches from the corners and do a 90-degree angle, or a 45-degree angle, I was going to say, from corner to corner. But this is just handy if you have these around to grab it. It has the perfect angle and perfect distance as well. So once you have that, we're just going to layer this on top of our piece and making sure that this is all nice and straight. I'm going to just grab my clips, my easy clips. This is nice because this is a thick layer here we're going to be sewing together or sewing through. So I'm just going to put these on to hold it together. You can of course pin it as well. It's just nice when you have such thick layers to really hold it together like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and place my other side on that end and clip this one in place as well. So before we sew anything, we want to make sure everything is held really nicely together. This goes together so quickly compared to other similar double oven mitts that are both all the way quilted and then bound. So now that I have my ends all secure, I'm just going to pull open the center here. Our folds should match up. So I like to pin where there's just a single layer of fabric so that it kind of stays together better than with the clips. So I'm just going to go ahead and pin. I'm going to pin close to the edge of the batting here on both sides and then along the sides too. Put a couple of more pins on the sides and then we are ready to stitch this. So what we want to do, again, I totally recommend a walking foot because this is a really thick layer coming through here. What we want to do is on one side we want to leave an opening of about at least 4 inches, 4 to 5 inches, but so we would start one side, so all the way around, come back and just leave that opening. Make sure you back stitch where you have that opening, and then we will come back and turn our whole piece around, and I'll show you how to finish it up. But I'm going to go ahead and stitch all the way around here. As I sew and I come to my markings on the corner, I'm going to sew to this line, and then I'm just going to follow the line all the way down, keep going across, and then stitch along the line again. So just put my needle down right at the line, and then I turn and stitch right on the line at that angle. So here I have my piece, I have my opening here, and first before we start turning, we want to trim up our corner. So trim it to about 1/4 inch to that diagonal seam. And then I like to just trim off a little bit of those corners to make it easier to turn. So just kind of rounding that corner a little bit. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. And I'm going to do that on the other side too. So now we have it trimmed up, and it's time to get in here and turn this piece. So I want to go in on one side and pull it through all the way through, and I can go into my pocket. First, I want to just put my hand in the whole thing and push out those corners with my fingers. And you can use a tool as well to push. I have a little tool that I can push those corners out to bring in here. They don't have to be sharp. It's okay to have them a little bit rounded. There, and then we can also get right in here in the pocket and help with it too. Push it out. So let's get on the other side. So now we are going to press our whole piece. So once you have this pushed out, these corners should be just a little bit rounded, which is okay. I'm going to press using a nice steam iron, and I also flip it to the other side to press the other side here on the thick ends. And I'm going to do that here as well. So then once you have the ends nicely pressed, I'm going to press my raw edge opening, press that in, and also these sides. So I like to pull out the seam, push it out, and then give it a nice press so it's nice and even along this side. Now they have the sides pressed. I just want to give the middle a nice press. So we're going to do a little bit of top stitching to secure our pieces. You will feel that your insulated batting is going to come to about 1 inch past this cuff. So I like to take a stitch just right at the edge, maybe 1/8 of an inch inside. You can kind of feel it. It really doesn't matter. You can just measure or gauge your length between the edge of the cuff. Just go straight across here. And then I'm going to go and top stitch along each side, go straight across the other side, and then top stitch along this side. That secures all your openings, and then it also secures this batting and keeps this kind of nice and flat. So here we have our oven mitt, and it is all done. And I just want to show you one little thing if you want to do a little bit of a pleat here in the middle to make this a little lesser width in the middle. That gives you the opportunity to hang it up on a hook, so it'll look somewhat like this. So if you want to do that, what you want to do is find that center. So I'm going to turn it this way. Find that center again. So I'm just laying them right sides together. And this was, of course, with our little pleat. But what we want to do is take I'm just going to draw a little, this is my water erasable pen so I can mark that crease. And now I have that marked, so this is my crease here. What I want to do is draw a line 1 inch in from each edge and about 2 inches long. So I'm just going to take my ruler, place the 1 inch line right on that top stitch seam, and then the 1 inch line on the ruler right on this mark. And I'm going to draw this line right here. And I really don't need to be drawing that on both sides. I am just going to fold this in half, like so, right along that crease, and put a pin in here on each side. So what you want to do is just stitch right along that line I drew and back stitch at just a little bit at the beginning and at the end, just to secure it. And then I'll show you how to press it down and then top stitch it to keep that fold. So here I have my seam. I don't know if you can see it. So just 2-inch seam. And so now I just want to lay this flat and fold this. So what I'm doing is taking this fold towards that seam. It's going to center itself automatically nicely. Just pull it out like that. And so you'll see here on the back side how this folds out evenly like that. I'm just going to grab my iron and pop it right on top. And then if you want to, you can secure by stitching on each side just along that top stitch line, so you're catching that fabric underneath, and just to secure it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So here we have it pleated in the middle. It's top stitch on each side. So now it's nice to hang up and it's ready to use the next time you are cooking something fun up in the kitchen. I hope you enjoyed making the oven mitt with me. Wasn't that super easy? No binding and ready to take that delicious treat out of the oven. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. So that was project number 3, or advent number 3. I've always loved these double oven mitts, but never wanted to make them because you have to do the binding around the whole thing and you have to bind the edges. So I figured out a way how you can really easily and fast. This is a fast project. As you can see, I pretty much made it in 30 minutes, start to finish. And so no binding. And of course, some of the questions that you guys asked, if you could round this instead of having that angle, that's just a style. You can totally round it, but I do recommend I would draw it first and sew it instead of cutting it off, because it's always harder to go around a curved edge if you have just that edge and you have so many layers that you need to keep together. So draw it first and then trim. So either way, it works the same. And if you wanted to, you can see on this one, I just added a little bit of quilting on my top pieces. You can do that. I didn't do it with my second version because I realized you really don't need it. So that's totally optional. Love that. So any other questions, let us know. Did you see any questions? I didn't really see questions. Everybody's just loving it and ready to make them.
Just comments. No,
Somebody,
no,
a lot of folks have been saying, I've made these before, but they were, you know, you have batting in the whole thing and the whole, and so it becomes very stiff, and then you have to bind the whole thing, you have to quilt the whole thing, but this is easy, you guys. We only need to have heat protectant in this part, so that's how we double up on that. And yeah, I mean, work smarter, not harder, right? So I think it's a perfect one to make in all kinds of course, this is a beautiful Christmas version with these types of fabrics, but you can make it for year round. This is something we use all the time. It is long enough to put around your neck and just keep around your neck as you're working. So that's what was my goal as well. All right, any other questions?
No.
Ready to move on? So we have quite a few updates and things to mention today. Of course, last week we opened up registration for our virtual retreat, our Stripology Virtual Retreat. So that is now open. Come check it out. We're going to be traveling on our very own G-Easy airplane, our soul plane, as you can see. Well, this is virtual, but wouldn't this be nice? Wouldn't this be nice?
Pretty dope.
So that's our imaginative mode of transportation, an airplane that is fully equipped with all of our machines and everything at hand. But it's a beautiful time for retreat, so go to our website to learn more about it. We have a lot of information, of course. When you register, you pick your kit and you get this retreat box a few weeks before that is full of all kinds of goodies. We are so excited for this 2025 virtual retreat.
Oh, yes. It's going to be awesome.
Yes, it's going to be so great. So spots will sell out. I'm just going to tell you that. We have record-breaking signups for this coming year's retreat. And so just going to tell you. Just going to tell you that. And then I wanted to mention that our Color Club members, those of you that are subscribed to our Color Club, we shipped it last week. Yes? This week? Last week. Sorry. Last week. Yeah. We shipped it last week, so I'll be revealing this month's color on Friday. So it's coming up. But in the news this week, Pantone released their color of 2025 and mixed reviews on that one. I don't know if you noticed or saw this. The color of 2025 Pantone color is called Mocha Mousse. And yes, it's an interesting tone of tan, brown, whatever you want to call it. I mean, that chocolate mousse looks delicious. But a lot of folks said that, well, especially women of a certain age are very familiar with this color. Yes, that pantyhose back in the that everybody used to wear. Yep, that's the pantyhose color. Now, I do understand that this color is pretty prevalent in home deck and clothing and stuff like that. Will we be making quilts using this color? Not exclusively. But I tell you what, it might be a good color to mix in here and there. We'll see. But Robert Kaufman also came out with the 2025 Kona color of the year. A little bit different. So they call it Nocturne, which I wouldn't call this Nocturne, but whatever.
Purple.
It's purple. It's pretty much purple.
Get right down to it.
They described it as more violet. To me, it's just purple. It's a great purple. So there it is. Those are the colors of 2025. We're going to continue our color club. We're not going to go by trends, but we feel like our colors are trendy all the time because we cover it all and get to surprise you every time. So we're excited to get you, if you haven't gotten your subscription yet for Color Club for the month of December, I hope you'll get it too. Yes, it's a good one. It's a great one. But 2025, we've got colors planned that are awesome. All right, so let's do some more announcements. Things that you've been asking about. So our London Calling Birmingham trip, Birmingham Quilt Festival tour. We announced it when we revealed the London Calling quilt. This tour is selling out fast, you guys. It is already over 2/3 signed up. So if you're thinking about it, just don't hesitate too long to contact our travel partners and sign up. It is going to be a blast. We're going to visit, of course, London. We're going to go to the Birmingham Quilt Festival, which is the largest in Europe. And so we're very excited, very excited. And this tour is packed with activities and places to visit. Lots of stuff included in it. So check it out, check it out. And there is a land option. So if you're traveling from somewhere other than the US, let us know. Michelle will help you make all your travel plans. So I wanted to mention that. Perfect Pairing holiday boxes will ship tomorrow. They're all set and ready to go out the door tomorrow. So those of you that ordered those boxes, they'll be coming to you. Or if you ordered one to ship to a friend or family member, they'll be going out tomorrow. Christmas in Europe. I know you've been asking about the book. When will it arrive? I have a date. It's coming next week, so we'll start shipping them next week. Yes. I'm so excited because I will be there when they arrive. It's just like a baby. I don't get to go to the delivery room, but I get to open the first box. So I'm very excited that I'm going to be in Minnesota when they arrive. And so it's going to be very exciting. Now, there was another arrival this week that I didn't get to be a part of. Well, last week, right?
Yeah.
No, did it come? Friday? Yes. And that is our Stripology quilting case. What? They are here. Yes, the quilting case is here. We started shipping them today. So check out these photos from when the container arrived at GE. It was all hands on deck. You'll see these familiar faces. And yes, we filled up one whole bay of our warehouse. Those amazing people, our team members at GE, are just the best. So everybody got out there, no matter what your job is at GE. And look at that, they're already on the pallets going out to those of you that pre-ordered. So we, of course, are doing this in order. So whether you are a quilt shop that placed an order, you will be getting yours in the order they came in the order of we receiving orders. So I'm so excited. So I can't wait to get to Minnesota to really touch them and feel them and look at them. But this is, of course, as many of you know, has been a long process, a 5-year pregnancy, we should say. And so I'm very, very excited for this one.
FedEx or USPS?
So we recommend FedEx. For an expensive product like this, you want to make sure that you ship it somewhere where you can track and something that's going to be insured. So we recommend you choosing FedEx when we ship those. So of course they're going to get to you faster too. So I am so excited that we're going to make so many people happy, because at first we got very excited because they were going to come early. They were going to come in November, and then there was we spoke about this earlier, some port situations, extra inspections, and a strike or two in Vancouver, I think. Yeah, so yeah. It's been a thing, but we are very happy campers, making people happy for Christmas. Love it. So we are all set for all your quilt travel in 2025. All right, so one more thing I wanted to mention, and that is our 10 years of Stripology celebration. Last show on Friday, we announced this big giveaway we are doing every month through April. So we are giving away rulers and tools every month. We have a giveaway page on our website. So this first month, you'll see we have a Stripology XL ruler, a book, and stickers that we are giving away. The winner will be announced on December 27th, which is always the last Happy Friday show of the month. And you can go sign up. Doesn't matter if you have a ruler or not, you can go sign up. Go to our website, fill in all the stuff for the giveaway. You only need to sign up once, and you are already signed up for each month. So you don't need to go register every time. There's ways to get extra entries, referring friends, sharing things, go into our social media pages, our website, all kinds of things. So go check it out, please, everybody.
Check it out.
Yes. But I have amazing fabric to share with you today. This is one that we've been waiting for months too. It's been delay after delay. But before that, I showed you 2 brand new kits that are in the store on Friday. I just wanted to show you those 2 quick because they are so fantastic for beginner quilters. So fast to make if you need a quick holiday one, or even something for early January. We have one called Twilight Creatures, which is a beautiful, gorgeous panel, adding 2 borders to it, and that's all. This is a kit available in the store. It has the instructions for the borders, but isn't that pretty? And it will have fabric for the top and the borders and the binding, not the backing. And then our second kit is called Lake Retreat. A little bit more piecing, but still based on panels, and then some fabrics, a little piece border. I love that little brown that I put in there, that wood brown. And so a really cool quilt for the lake. This one is a lap size. The other one is a little bit smaller, so perfect for that playtime quilt for kids, or kind of a little bit older kids, not necessarily babies. So great kit. But the fabric I want to show to you today, brand new bundle that we've been waiting for. This beautiful line is coming from the Ivory Coast via Robert Kaufman. So these are called, the line is called Uniwax African Prints. So authentic wax produced African prints from the Ivory Coast. And I am so excited to show you these because they are gorgeous, gorgeous. So, and they're big prints, so perfect for those quilts that you can really show off things. Starting with this one, they don't have, so the essence of these, I'm going to show you, they kind of feel a little bit like a batik. So you'll see they are same on the other side, so they don't have a back side, which is really cool. So they're perfect for clothing, all kinds of things. I'm going to be making some quilts, I'm telling you that right now. But I love the colors, I love the prints. So the essence of this, that each print has 3 distinct colors. You'll see the 3 distinct colors in here after they do the wax pattern. And the process is fascinating. So if you want to learn more about it, you definitely can. But we have 11 prints in a bundle because I want to make a quilt out of this, and I wanted to have the opportunity to offer that as just getting little snippets of these gorgeous prints. We do have quite a bit of them available in 1 yards as well. But the 11 half yards that we have, aren't these gorgeous? Oh, I know this is, they're very unique, and you know me, I'm all about unique. And these, I think this would be fabulous in some of the quilts from the Quickies book. So whatever color floats your boat, I'm all about, like, let's throw them all into a quilt. Let's do it. So I can tell you more maybe in another show. I can show you more about the process on how these are made, but they're made, so they don't have the wax on them anymore, so you really can just start sewing right away. Aren't these beautiful? Like, the colors are so saturated and so gorgeous. Yeah, we've been waiting for these for a while. Gorgeous. Look at this with the gold and the red. Beautiful, beautiful prints. And of course, you don't have to put them all into one quilt. You can pick a main fabric and throw in some beautiful accents. Here we have this coral color, and it's actually coral print, which is just perfect with the greens. Yeah, I got to show you, open all of them to really show you. Bring in some navy and pink and gold. Just the geometrics, so unique. Like, this is something that is different from anything you've seen. Of course, they have authentic African prints if you go to quilt shows sometimes, and I always get stuck in those booths and bring some stuff home, but I'm really excited to have something very approachable for quilters to try their hands at something unique. This is a beautiful color. Like, talk about Kona color of 2025. Here it is. There it is. Just a little bit of metallic in here. Okay, there's 2 prints. 2 more. We have this gorgeous blue orange, just that hint of metallic gold on there. And last one is a little bit of blue and pink. Shells. I probably would at least starch them, or at least soak them so that they, you know, but these are kind of like batiks. If you prefer to pre-wash batiks, I probably would. And if it's very saturated color, always take a little test. You can make a little test and test the color stability, but pre-washing with a little retain or something to stabilize the colors is always a good idea, especially if you're gonna do some piecing and some work. But let's take a look. So I did a fabric pull. You can mix these with regular cottons. They're 100% cotton, and they're very authentic in how they are printed and made, but I love it. So here we have Thatched Ocean, perfect color to go with this. I of course had to kind of do the rainbow because it's all the colors. We have Dreams in the bright blue. Awesome. We have a little bit of a navy. This is Dimples Midnight to go with those dark, deep navies in here. Love this. For some bright green, love that lime green. Thatched in the grass color has not quite so bright, but it really matches some of the other greens that you'll see in here. Let's see, we have a little bit of orange. This one is perfect. Grunge in the pumpkin. Perfect orange for here, and you'll find that orange throughout too in other prints, so you can definitely copy that. Let's do a little bit of gold. This is one of my favorites. This is Glaze and the Citrine. This is so beautiful. So have that one here. We have, this one is Spectrostatic in the Squash. A little bit more brown, so perfect with this brown tone here. Got some pink, dry brush in the medium pink. This goes really well with this tone of pink over here. And then we have a little bit more coral, glaze in the tiger tail. Oh, love this one. Have to have a little bright red. This is chalk and charcoal in the cardinal color with this bright red print. And then we have a little bit of burgundy. Dimples in the Tuscan red. You'll see that burgundy is kind of throughout some of these prints in the main print, so that's going to be a good mix as well. And then one more, kind of that in between green and gold, the grunge and the marigold has a little bit of that beautiful olive yellow tones. So let me pop that one between here. Will work perfectly. Now, if you wanted to add a background, so the whites in here are an off-white, so I chose the Dimples Pearl with it. So it is a little bit taupey off-white, and it will match these perfectly. A great contrast, but really excited about these. We do have some, let's take a look at the bundle first, and I'm going to show you some of the prints that we have in bigger cuts. We have them in 1 yard and some in 3 yards, but let's take a look at the bundle first. Oh, you want to show them? Let's show them the prints. Yeah, these are the prints we have in bigger cuts. So we have the floral stripe and the tangerine. Well, this is the red, pretty much. We call it tangerine. And then we have that same one in the purple. Beautiful. And we have the blue print with the shells and the little bit of pink. And we have this gorgeous ochre lime green with pink. We have the turquoise or sea glass green with the big pink ocean theme. Oh, this is so gorgeous. And the gold with the red big flowers. Oh, this is so pretty. I know, I can't get over it. I'm so excited to try this. Now, what would I make with it? You know, the supersized Amelie, I picked that specifically to hang behind Mr. HP today because that would be fabulous. Fantastic. I think I could make an Ava quilt with this. I think A Gigi would be fantastic. I think just a lot of things would be really great. I'm so excited about it. I hope you understand how excited I am about this. So any of our supersized patterns, my brain is in overdrive right now. This is so inspiring. Anything I see cool and new and ways to use color differently. Love it. Anyways, let's keep it moving here. It is time for our giveaway question. Today is Human Rights Day and also Animal Rights Day. So I thought this would be a perfect moment to celebrate our daughter, Svana. You guys know Svana. She has gotten her, I think, her career job, her dream job. She is now working for an organization in Oregon called Guide Dogs for the Blind. She is surrounded by puppies all day and puppies that look like Kobe.
Like Kobe.
I know. So very excited for her. Such meaningful work and just right up her alley. So proud of you, Svana.
Congratulations.
And kind of jealous a little bit.
Congrats, everybody.
I'm going to come for a visiting and just hang with the dogs for like a week.
Yeah.
Oh, she sends us videos and photos of dogs all day long. So I love it. I love it so much.
Today, though, the puppies.
Yes. So with that being said, our giveaway question of the day is about animals. What is your favorite animal to observe? So I love to watch, animals, how they behave. I don't know. Of course, puppies and dogs are always fun to watch. I love to watch birds now for some reason. I think that we get a lot of birds here, so it's interesting.
I think monkeys and gorillas are.
Oh, those are very interesting to watch, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually cats.
With their attitudes.
Their attitudes, they're just funny. So let us know which animals you like to observe, and you're automatically entered into our giveaway. We have lots of shows coming up for you, so make sure you tune back in. Whenever you have time, you can always watch later. 1 Yard Wednesday will be here tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Great deals on 1 yards every week. We have Happy Friday coming on December 13th. Ooh, Friday the 13th.
Ooh.
We will be here with you. And then Saturday is a So Great Saturday. So make sure you tune in and check in with the producers and Nancy. They've got something great up their sleeves, I'm sure. And we'll be back here next week, Tipsy Tuesday, 4 p.m. Central Time. And of course, that's December 17th, our fourth and final Advent project, celebrating the holidays. So that's it. That's our show. I told you we had a lot to share. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you join us for future shows, everybody. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Am I supposed to fade you out?
Yep.
Quilting with the beat. You feel that heat. We're the rulers of the strips, every inch so neat. Lay your fabric here, lay it right here. Cut it right there, cut it right there. Precision in the rhythm can't help but stand. From morning to night we cut and we care. Every quilt a masterpiece, nothing can compare. Home of the Stripology, feel that vibe. G designs where precision is our vibe. Cut it, slice it, make it so right. Quilters paradise, sewing in the moonlight. Measure once, cut twice. That's the funky rule. Stripology magic, yeah. It's hella cool. Turn that fabric loose, make it strut and stroll. We're jamming with the quilts in control. Oh, everybody now, lift up those strips, Feel the stripology, adding flair to your life. From edge to edge, we groove through the night. night. Sew it up, show it off with a glorious sight. Home of the Stripology, feel that vibe. GE designs where precision is our vibe. Cut it, slice it, make it so right. Quilter's paradise, sewing in the moonlight. Step into the groove, it's the place to stay. GE Designs got the Stripology way. Quilting with the beat, you feel that heat. We're the rulers of the strips, every inch so neat. Lay your fabric here, lay it right here. Cut it right there, cut it right there. Precision in the rhythm can't help but stare. From morning to night we cut and we care. Every quilt a masterpiece, nothing can compare. Home of the Stripology, feel that vibe. GE Designs where precision is our vibe. Cut it, slice it, make it so right. Quilter's paradise, sewing in the moonlight. Measure once, cut twice, that's the funky rule. Stripology magic, yeah, yeah, it's hella cool. Turn that fabric loose, make it strut and stroll. We're jamming with the quilts in control. Oh, everybody now, lift up those strips, lift up those strips. Feel the Stripology, adding flair to your life. From edge to edge, we groove through the night. Sew it up, show it off with a glorious sight. Home of the Stripology.